All right, let's talk about something that's on the mind of pretty much every parent in Scarborough with a teenager: choosing a driving school. Because let's be honest, teaching someone to drive here isn't like anywhere else. Today, we're going to break down the source material to help you figure out the best way to prepare your new driver for some of the toughest roads in the entire GTA. So let's just dive right in and ask the big question. You know it, I know it. Driving in Scarborough can be an absolute nightmare. But what is it exactly that makes it so uniquely challenging? Well, it's not just one thing. The source material calls it the Scarborough Gauntlet, which is honestly the perfect name for it. You've got the utter chaos of the 401. You've got these massive 6-lane roads like Eglinton and Lawrence. Don't even get me started on those insane highway merges between the DVP, the 404, and the 400. This is not your average driver's ed environment. It is a true trial by fire, and it demands a totally different kind of training. And that really gets to the core of it. The whole point isn't just about learning to parallel park so you can pass a 20-minute road test. The real goal here, for any new driver, is to build actual survival skills for these incredibly demanding roads. So if survival is the real goal, not just acing the test, how does that change how you look for a driving school? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental choice between two very, very different philosophies. See, on the one hand, you've got standard schools, and their main job, it's to teach your kid the specific maneuvers and routes they need to pass their road test. But on the other hand, you have an approach that's built for a lifetime of driving safely. The focus is completely different. Is it just about the test, or is it about the skills that will keep them safe for the next 50 years? And this brings us right to the heart of the source materials analysis. What exactly is the Young Drivers of Canada difference? Well, it's all built on 3 main pillars, each one designed to create a fundamentally safer, more confident driver. So, pillar number 1 is their whole collision-free philosophy. This isn't just the basic stuff the Ministry of Transportation requires. It's a curriculum that goes way beyond that, focusing on training the driver's brain, their cognitive skills, for what to do in a real emergency. And here's what that actually looks like in the real world. We're talking about critical skills for Scarborough's roads. Like, what do you do to avoid a rear-end collision in that bumper-to-bumper traffic on the 401? What happens if your wheels slip off the pavement onto a gravel shoulder at high speed? They teach actual life-saving maneuvers. It's all about being proactive, not just reactive. This quote from the source really just sums it all up perfectly. It's about developing the driver's mind, their ability to spot a dangerous situation before it even happens and make a smart decision, not just training their hands and feet to work the pedals and the wheel. Okay, the second pillar. This one tackles a huge point of stress for so many families, something the source calls the practice gap. You know exactly what this is. It's that super awkward, sometimes tense time when your kid has had a few lessons, but now they have to log all those practice hours with you, and you're not a trained driving instructor. So what's the solution? Well, according to the analysis, YDC's approach is to bring the parent right into the process. They don't just send you on your way to figure it out. They actually give you a structured plan, checklists. They basically turn you into a co-coach. That way, your practice time is actually reinforcing the good habits from the lessons, not accidentally creating bad ones. And the third pillar, well, it's all about tech. Young Drivers has this app that's kind of like a digital co-pilot. It runs on the phone during those practice drives and gives you feedback on things like speed and cornering and hard braking. It helps make that practice time so much more productive and, a little less stressful for everyone involved. Okay, so with all these extra features, the advanced curriculum, the parent coaching, the app, you're probably asking the big question: what's the bottom line? How does YDC actually stack up against other schools when it comes to price? And yeah, as you can see, there's no way around it. YDC is a premium option. It costs more. But you can also see right there on the chart why it costs more. The curriculum is different, the technology is different, and the entire focus is on survival skills, not just passing a test. It is a classic case of you get what you pay for. And that's really the main point the source makes. That price difference, it's not just a number. It's about what you're actually investing in. As this quote says, that extra money buys instruction on how to stay alive, not just how to parallel park between cones. And the value doesn't stop with the training itself. The analysis also points out some other big perks, things like exclusive insurance discounts that can be better than the standard ones. They have instructors who are specifically trained to work with anxious or nervous drivers. Plus, there's the convenience of pickup from home, school, or work, and they know the tricky local test centers like Port Union inside and out. So, if you're listening to all this and thinking, okay, this sounds like the right approach for my family, what's next? How do you actually get started? The path is actually pretty straightforward. First things first, your kid's got to have their G1 license. Can't do anything without it. Then you pick a package. The source really recommends the one that includes using the instructor's car for the road test. After that, it's about knocking out the online theory lessons because you have to finish those to unlock the in-car driving. Oh, and a little pro tip. Book that G2 road test as early as humanly possible. The wait times can be absolutely wild. And that really brings us to the final thought here. We've laid out the two different philosophies, training to pass a test versus training for survival. So the question I want to leave you with is this. When your kid is finally driving alone and they're merging onto a packed Highway 401 at rush hour, which set of skills do you want them to have in their toolkit?